What is up? Welcome back to Softcore History. I am your host for the week, Rob Fox, joined as always by Dan Regester.
Always a pleasure to be on your show, Rob.
Happy to have you back. And we have a very special returning guest, one of the favorites of the program, Mrs. Jessie Wiseman.
Oh, thank you. A Mrs. Jessie Wiseman even.
Yeah.
Mrs. I like that.
I wanted to address you formally after spending 8 hours listening to your sex noises over the course of the last day and a half.
Yeah, do you like at the end when you were letting me listen that I just looked you right in the eye?
Yeah.
Because I was like, you need to know
Yeah.
that this is a really uncomfortable thing that you did. But when is it coming out?
Should be next week.
Very excited. We have a sketch coming out next week on the Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory, where Jesse and Jack Mandeville make sweet, sweet love.
Sweet
Audio love.
audio love.
There's something kind of, like, because we're into the amateur stuff, Bob,
Yeah.
you and I.
Yes.
There's something kind of naughty about an audio only. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think the audio is, for me, that's like half the fun.
Right?
Right.
Do you search, like, dirty talking? You know what I mean?
Like,
sometimes?
It's if I get an amateur vid and she's just a mouse.
Dude, hate that shit.
Off.
What do you think this is, dude? This is your one chance.
Yeah.
You
Rob's
have one chance.
A big JOI guy.
What's that?
What's
Jerk
that?
off instructions.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that
I
too.
get on a cam and I'm like, tell me what to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I like a teaching moment.
Now, because
Yeah.
I'm married, I do have to do it in the hall bathroom at midnight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it amateur. You're right. You go amateur on amateur.
Yeah.
I love
yeah.
that.
It's
Don't lie. Sneak out into your car.
that's
That
so
would
much
be
worse.
even creepier. Neighbors walking by. Yeah, it's an open neighborhood. Like people
And
will be like,
everyone, our neighborhood's so dark because it's one of those dark sky neighborhoods.
Right.
Where everyone walks their dogs with like flashlights and shit.
oh, it'd be like, yeah, and all the break-ins that are happening, they'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, yeah.
What? Who's it? Someone's in his car.
And then they would immediately understand. Do you know what I mean? Like if it was a dude, like a dad, you'd
Yeah.
be like, all right,
get
dude.
it, dude. I
Like
get it.
fucking get it, bro. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man.
Can you turn your dome light off? That'd just be my one request.
Yeah, that's the thing with these, all the cars with all the sensors. I'd just be worried that like something would fucking turn on
Yep.
or
You hit one wrong button,
yeah,
all of a sudden, you're doing it for the whole neighborhood.
yeah, because we're all rich. What's up?
Yeah, gated community. What up?
What up? I know. I fucking just realized that you have a gated community.
Yeah, so I can't relate to your break-ins comment.
I live in
I
a
know.
one-bedroom apartment for the people out there.
Yeah, because you're doing it right. Now listen, Bob and I
We're
would
not that
say
successful yet.
there are moments where we go, God, we miss the fucking apartment, dude.
Rob comes from money.
You call somebody to fucking fix your shit.
Oh.
Like it's amazing. Like you could walk away from that thing
Yep.
and live your life
Yep.
still. Stress of that gone.
Oh, I mean, you can literally just be like, God damn it, my apartment's on fire. You just
Fuck
call
it.
the office. You're like, hey, my fucking apartment's on fire.
It's on
now,
fire, dude.
yeah, now if there's like a hole in my wall, I'm like, "Ugh, my life's over.
Yep.
That is I'll never recover from that financially.
Yep.
Patch it up, dude.
I'll never recover from that financially.
No, because we could patch it up, but it's not going to be professional. And if we ever try and sell it, that's the one thing
You
that
still
they're
have
going
to-
to be
you're
like, yep.
Yep, you will still have to get someone to pay for
I
it.
think the appeal of owning a home is to mow a lawn.
That is truly one of the happiest moments of my week is mowing the lawn.
Do you
Throw the
mow
earbuds
your
in.
lawn?
I do, yeah.
Sitting down or walking?
No, pushing.
Wow.
It'd be a little egregious to have I have a big backyard, but not big enough for a rider.
Dude.
I like a
Even
push
if I had a
mow.
little patch, I'd get a rider, dude.
Push mow, you decompress, get away from your kids, your wife.
Oh, you fill out that exercise circle real fast on your Apple Watch.
Oh,
with the
no
push mower.
shit. When I see people in the summer, you do that shit?
Yeah. I usually have to do it during the kids' nap time, too, so it's like a 2 o'clock mow.
What the fuck?
Heavy
You are
sleepers.
losing lots of weight. What?
The kids are just staying asleep as you mow.
Yeah, they don't wake
Yeah.
them up. They got noise machines
Oh,
and shit.
and by the way, that's like a noise machine
Yeah.
for them. Like if you start it at the right time and just keep it going.
Yeah, it doesn't wake them
You
up.
Also,
keep 'em
maybe get a
asleep.
sniff of the gas can.
Yeah, it's a good smell.
That's
Some
a
of the
thing,
simple
right?
pleasures of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like to huff some gas.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I would say try it out, but don't do it because we're all envious of you. Do you know what I mean?
Of sniffing gas or
No, living in an apartment.
Oh, I
would
told
say
him.
like own a house, but don't.
Because we have an early day today.
Yeah.
Just even the family stuff too. We have an early day today. I was like, oh, sick, dude. If I time it right, and if this show doesn't run overly long, then I get to get home right when my kids are napping, and then maybe I get to take a nap for like 45 fucking minutes.
That's happened to me maybe 2 times in my life, and it's amazing.
He's not
It's
even excited to
If
be
my
like,
wife- if I
intimate
came-
with his wife.
If my wife came
No.
home and was like, hey, do you want to fuck right now? And I'm like, nope, I'm napping. Which is going to make me come 1,000 times harder.
Oh yeah, just let me nap it out. Nap it out.
Nap, baby.
All right, sorry about all the
It's
banter. You
it's
know, I
okay.
like to banter, guys.
You're good. You're one of our best banter co-hosts.
Banter co-host.
By
I
far.
can just.
But we
Right.
have an episode for you today because you are the host of Crime Corner, the wildly
Yes.
successful crime show.
Thank you.
You can find it anywhere.
I'm occasionally producing it, but you know,
Yeah.
I got bumped.
Yeah, you'll probably be back on it. But anyway. Diddle-oo. Yeah, we've got a revolving door of producers for sure. But yeah, doing quite well once videos on Spotify. People are liking it. So I don't know. Check it out.
So
Anyway.
we got some crime for you today
Thank you.
because you're the crime queen.
Thank you.
But of course,
And we're gonna do something you're never gonna touch.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not in a million years.
Do you guys have like a window where it's like we don't go further than like
Yeah.
50 years back?
Yeah, we've done a couple, but it's hard to relate to that kind of freedom when
Right.
it comes to crime.
It's like, oh, yeah, right.
Like literally, yeah.
And
but-
also, you can't relate to the victims. Like, oh, she worked 20 hours in a button factory and was
Yeah.
a prostitute for the other 8 hours a day. That's right.
yeah,
Days were 28 hours for laborers back then. And you're
right.
just like, I don't.
I mean,
Sounds like it was a relief.
yeah, they're not tracking cell phones.
No,
Do you
no,
know
no,
what
no.
I mean? They're not got CCTV. Like, you really are just like, there's no. If you get caught, here's the thing: if you get caught back then,
You're
you're a
pathetic.
piece of
Yeah.
shit, sloppy motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
what kind of interests me.
It's like taking a drug test and getting popped for cocaine.
right. Like
It's out of the system within 48 hours.
you want to get caught. You're bored at that point. You're
Right.
like, come on.
You do have a problem. If you fail
Yeah.
a drug test with cocaine,
Oh.
you actually have a problem
yeah.
because you're doing it too much.
Yeah.
But today, we have one of the most infamous killers in all of ancient Roman history.
Okay.
And more than that, it's a lady.
Ooh, I was gonna say Roman history. This one's for the ladies, but it is.
It is for the ladies.
Okay.
She was not just a murderer, but an assassin,
Okay.
a poison queen.
We always are.
Mm-hmm.
We keep it clean. Do you know what I mean? Nothing hack 'em up gory.
No.
We keep it nice and clean.
Get a little flirtatious, pour him
Sure.
a glass of wine.
That
Oh, is
that
that
is
what it
how
is?
one of them happened in this episode.
Ooh, I'm in.
She's
I
a
am
clever
in.
little minx, too. We're talking about Locusta of Gaul, Emperor Nero's master of poisons.
Master of poisons.
What a title.
Actually, I
Damn
believe
it.
technically it was the imperial poisoner.
Even fucking better.
Right.
By the way, I would have gone with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just having somebody on staff that masters poisons. That's kind
Bring
of a
out
flex.
the poisoner. I don't want to bring out.
That's a-
I
that's-
don't want to bring up Diddy, but like,
You're right.
bring out the poisoner. Yeah.
That's the sort of power that people just don't have anymore.
He's not in court if he has a poisoner.
No.
Yeah. True.
Problem's taken care of.
True.
So Locusta, not a lot is known about her early life. She was born in Gaul. We know that much, modern-day France. And she probably grew up... Oh, and she was a commoner. She's a peasant. And she probably grew up learning about herbs and botany because she was poor and just had to eat leaves, basically, her whole life growing up.
Like,
Right.
don't
Is it like
eat
a
that.
farming situation or?
That might
No.
even be generous.
Okay.
It was trial and error.
You had to just like
living off
make
the
your own
land type of
food. Yeah.
shit.
A couple of
yeah.
her friends died eating the wrong thing.
And you're like, ooh, take note.
Yeah, you have to know which mushrooms are bad, which plants are bad,
Which
which ones you can
mushrooms
eat,
are
that
good?
type of shit.
Yeah.
Yep. So she knew. She grew up knowing, like, you can eat this, don't eat this, that'll fucking kill you, so on
That's
and
rad.
so forth. At some point, they don't know when, she moved to Rome and was still obviously a poor girl or whatever and was like, being poor sucks. How do I make some money? And then she was like, you know what? everyone in this city's an asshole. I bet they'd be into poisoning each other.
Everyone in Rome is an asshole?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like a city, like, people like Washington, D.C. is the swamp. Like, multiply that times 1 billion, and you have Rome, basically.
Yeah, I do hate everyone out there.
Yeah. So
That's why the incels gravitate to Rome.
Okay.
Like modern day.
Okay. Because it's something that they're
like, when men were men.
Oh, right.
If you're about ancient Rome, you got to be down to fuck guys.
Yeah, that's what I see. Like, I don't ask it because I'm just like, whatever. I don't want to get into a conversation about ancient Rome, right? But I'm just like, but what is it? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when men were men, but they were so manly that they were powerfully
banging
each other.
Dominating another man.
Yeah.
each other, also boy slaves, also. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're an incel and you're like, I want to be men with men, ancient Rome. I'm tired of all this queer modern shit. And like, I have horrible news for you. Horrible news for you.
Real quick. Let's do a little history podcast, and so
They were kind of chads, though. If the woman's giving you lip, you just go over and bang your boy.
That was, I don't think I told you about
this
in an episode where we did an episode of just like ancient Roman sexuality and like stories from ancient Rome. And as a wife, try to put yourself in this situation. I know you say it's hard to empathize with like a murder victim from the 1800s.
Right.
Like that. Try to see if you can wrap your mind around this. I've
Okay.
mentioned on the show before, but I guess at one point, some ancient Roman wealthy person, patrician class person, a noble, was like with his wife at home, and she was like, I will never let you do anal with me. Ever.
She just said it?
I guess. That's how it came up in some way. And he
Okay.
laughs at her
Uh-huh.
and yanks in his teenage slave
No.
and bends him over and shows her his butthole and is like, you think I want that? Look at this. I get this whenever I want.
Rob, you're taking a lot of liberties with this story, right?
No. I mean,
look at this.
I'm not speaking Latin, I guess.
Sure.
but-
Okay. Just loosely translated.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'm
Fucking.
It's
Okay.
like Danny McBride and This Is the End or whatever.
Yeah,
With,
yeah.
With Channing Tatum. Slide into that whenever I want.
Whenever I want.
So anyway, she's like,
By the way, the
Locusta.
slave is just there to be pulled in. Okay.
He has no say in the
Yeah, I
matter.
really don't understand the Rome thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting place.
In time.
Yeah. So she moves to Rome and she's like, dude, I bet I can sell poisons like crazy and just like crush it.
Yeah.
So she does. And business is a booming because greed, ambition, all this shit is just rampant in Rome. People want to kill each other constantly for little things. And like you said, if you get caught for killing someone at any time before 1980,
Yeah.
pathetic.
Pathetic.
You're sloppy.
Especially if you have money, like the people that are hiring her.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah.
have money and you get caught in this era, you're a fucking idiot.
Problem is, business was booming.
Mm-hmm.
Girl boss, right? Making money.
My favorite term. I love it.
But she got too popular.
Well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Word got out.
Sure.
Probably someone rolled over on her.
Yeah, who would?
Some slob who did get caught rolls over
Oh,
on her.
okay. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
She gets thrown in jail. Gets
course.
tossed in Roman jail,
Of course, it's her and not the person that hires
Right.
her. But anyway.
where she likely, would have just rotted away. Would have
Right.
just rotted behind bars.
Sure.
But she was that good. And word got out
All the way to the top.
all the way to the top of the Roman Empress, Agrippina.
Oh, it was a chick at this time.
Agrippina. Well, she's not. She's just like the queen.
She doesn't
like
rule.
there's an emperor in
Oh,
charge.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Come on now.
This is-
Fucking.
Dude, what are you fucking even talking about?
So this is Nero's mom,
Mm-hmm.
Agrippina the Younger. So in 54 BC, Agrippina worried that her son Nero might not ascend to the throne because it's her son, but it's only the Emperor Claudius's adopted son.
Oh, so it won't. The lineage isn't gonna.
Right, and he's
Okay.
got other kids.
The bloodline's not
Nero's
there.
yeah, Nero's the
Bloodline's
oldest.
Just the spare, dude.
Yeah, he's the oldest, and he has been adopted. And a lot of people do just get adopted into it. Like a
Okay.
lot of emperors are adopted sons of the emperor they succeeded.
So they can fuck him.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
I don't know. Listen,
You're probably right.
right?
But she's still worried. She's like, I need to lock this down. I need my boy to be the emperor. So
Okay.
she's like, I'm gonna kill Claudius, the emperor. I need to kill him to make sure Nero inherits the throne because all the other kids are pretty young, and
Okay.
Nero's like old enough.
So this is your window.
Yes.
Okay.
So obviously not easy to murder an emperor. He's got guards, food testers, so on.
Do they have?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They've got food testers and all this shit.
That like they drop dead and they go up.
Yep. Yep.
Every time you're like,
Yeah.
Okay.
You're just like,
Yeah, you're going through a dozen food testers a week.
yeah, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
okay.
mean, if the food tester drops dead, you're immediately just basically kill anyone you suspect of doing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they need a real sexy plan to get around the food tester.
Okay.
Agrippina, great poisoner. That doesn't just mean kill.
Ah.
So she cooks up a little something, gives the food tester / guard some diarrhea,
Okay.
and he's got to call in sick.
Ooh.
Like in the moment almost. Like right 20 minutes before, he's like, oh, God, and like just runs out.
That bad. Yeah.
So then,
And back then, by the way, diarrhea, get your affairs in order because you're fucking dead.
Could be your
actually.
last days.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Super dehydrated.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. Diarrhea killed you back in the day.
almost immediately.
Almost immediately. Yeah.
Just like one run, and you're out.
And you're just like, and what a way you're like, oh god.
I hate this. And it's, by the way, there's public toilets. There's no like private bathrooms. So you're just dying around.
Well,
like,
you're welcoming it at that point, right? You're
Yeah.
like, it's almost like a gift where
Yeah.
you're like, yes, I will die. Thank
this
you.
is horrible.
Yeah.
I need to leave.
Yeah.
So she gives the guard diarrhea. With him out of the way, they serve a plate of mushrooms to Claudius. It's his favorite food.
Okay.
Sprinkle that with poison. And Claudius is just like, oh, mushrooms, fuck yeah.
Just this big fucking gross dude.
Yeah,
Probably.
just fucking.
Just powering up like Super Mario.
Yeah, just houses this plate of mushrooms. Eats them without hesitation. But being a cautious man, he's the emperor. He knows that poison is a weapon that would be used against him at any time. Obviously, he has a food tester. Also, just as another backup plan, a safety shoot, he keeps a feather on the table with him to induce vomiting if he suspects he's being poisoned. So you just jam that feather down your
God.
throat, get the poison out. Aren't you happy you live in 2025?
Seriously, what a horrible way to make yourself puke, too. God.
Yeah, before our meal, we're not going to say a prayer, but I do need my feather
Yes,
here.
can I have my puking feather?
My long peacocks just. The poison kicks in, and Claudius starts. His doctor, who is in the room, jumps into action, grabs the feather, starts just jamming it down his throat, like, throw up, live, live.
Yeah.
But this tricky little girl thought of that too. She thinks of everything.
The feather's poison.
The feather
So,
is poisoned.
what? She's so good.
Yeah,
Is she hot?
I hope so.
Right? We don't know.
There's no paintings of her.
Of
For
course.
The Regester of Gaul. There is a funny painting that from like the Renaissance.
Yeah.
That's her. This kind of spoils something later once she becomes imperial poisoner.
Right.
It's just a painting of her testing poison on a slave.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
I mean, hot back then was a different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Who knows?
But yeah, she was able to. You can't do all this and not be like a little bit good looking, right?
You would think. And honestly, maybe she's wasn't that good looking for them, but like good looking now because she's like probably thin because she grew up poor.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, ew, gross.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here.
You've never eaten anything.
Go
She
over
has to induce
Bob's
the
house.
male gaze in order to distract.
Right.
Right. Or she's so unattractive that no one pays her any attention.
Yeah, and they wouldn't think of her.
Actually,
just
that
literally not even think
It's
of
probably
her.
the case. But like,
Right?
I'll get that gross bitch out of here.
Yeah, I'm not looking at this. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You don't even clock her.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's almost like no one's in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got you.
So The feather had been poisoned. Claudius dies, and Nero ascends to the throne.
Did he not have
Perfect.
his succession plan in order?
No, and so Agrippina was like just made sure to like move
She
quickly.
had this small window
Yeah.
of like, if this happens suddenly,
He had
we can get him right in there.
he and she had enough supporters that were
Yeah.
like, just grab the boy's head.
right.
He's the king!
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask any questions.
These
Yeah.
hoes ain't loyal. Did she even like her husband?
No,
No.
she
Did
killed him.
anyone like their husbands back then? It
Yeah, but
wasn't,
maybe
like,
she made a
right.
sacrifice for her son. you
Well,
know?
he also had multiple wives,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
I'll do
No,
it.
there was no like love. It was really just like, how do I get to
yeah,
the top?
this woman's making business decisions.
Yeah.
Cutthroat.
They all are.
Yeah.
That's why like a hole's a hole, and nobody's like
Right.
in love.
No.
No, that didn't exist.
Actually, there was one dude that was in love, and it cost him.
Oh yeah, the emperor who was before he was a couple people before Nero, right? He was right. No, he was right after Augustus, so he was like 2-3 emperors before Nero. Yeah, who the other emperor was like, for business reasons, I need you to divorce that wife you love, and marry a new chick, and it drove him insane.
The guy that had to get divorced.
Yeah.
Because he was actually in love.
Yeah,
Well, first mistake.
right.
I was thinking like Mark Antony.
Oh, that too. Mark Antony also. Love really. Well, I don't think that was love. I think that was
Lust.
See,
good
they
banging
okay.
that
Now I
fucked
get
him.
it too. Like the obsession with ancient Rome, right?
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, it wasn't. There was no like love. It was all just you do what you got to do, right?
do what you gotta do and do what you want to do.
Do what you got to do. Do what you want to do. Because now we know that kind of love will ruin everything.
Yeah,
It's the fall of the entire empire. Is love. If you break it down. But
I
go
think
ahead.
so. So Nero ascends to the throne, but Nero, who famously was not a nice person, needed more people dead.
Okay.
So he asked his mom's poison wench to take care of someone else for him. Because, like I said, he was, shoved onto the throne, but Claudius's other sons still existed.
Right. Oh.
So at this point, I guess Agrippina, employed Locusta, but didn't free her from jail.
So she had to go back to jail when she was done?
Yeah. So Nero
Poor people, dude. They just fucking treated him like shit.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
So Nero comes to her in
Well, you got to be in a dungeon to kind of, brew up your witch poison.
Why can't you be in the dungeon in their castle, whatever it is?
What
right?
I don't know what her leaf access is in a prison,
Right?
but she's got the knowledge, and that's what counts.
Right.
So she's imprisoned. It's 55 AD. I said BC earlier. AD. Nero comes to her cell and is like, "I need some fucking poison, because I got a younger brother, Britannicus, and he is Claudius's son, and there are people who think he should be the emperor, so he's got to go. That 9-year-old has got to go."
No. Oh, jeez.
He's a threat.
Okay.
So he's like, "I need."
Well, whatever. Yeah, they can be quite threatening.
Yeah.
Probably in that era too.
He might have been like 12. It just said he wasn't even a teenager,
Okay.
so he was not yet a teenager.
Okay.
I think 9's just a funny age to say.
Yeah, for sure.
So apparently Nero was not just worried about the fact that he was heir to the throne. He was also, this is a direct quote from an ancient historian, he attempted to poison Britannicus as much out of envy because he had a sweeter voice as from apprehension of what might ensue from the respect that people entertained for his father's memory. So he was also just,
He just really didn't like the cut of his
yeah.
jib.
I think he was jealous that people liked Britannicus. Because
Sure.
Nero was a fucking weirdo.
Sure, adopted.
Like an
You're
abs-
always gonna be like, fuck the real kid, right?
Nero was an uggo, too.
A ginger, an uggo, a neckbeard.
Oh,
Yeah.
And sadistic as fuck.
yeah. Well, clearly, if you have all that going on in this time,
I imagine
Dudes
he
don't
showed
even wanna fuck
signs in
you?
his teenage years as well.
This is allegedly what Nero looked like.
oh god.
Yeah.
Nero famously had parties where he would just have Christians as human torches.
To light the room.
Okay.
/ as background music for a few minutes.
This fucking era is bonkers.
It's, yeah.
I'm starting to understand.
It's
I'm starting to get it. It really is just like anything you can think of, they probably did.
any fucking anything.
Any weird ass thing, they did
Yeah.
it. Probably tried it out.
It was pure trial and error back then.
Yeah. For everyone
Like
else.
guys, we've been civilizations existed for like 3,000 years. We don't know what we're doing.
Let's like figure some shit out. You know, like
Morality's not a real thing at this point.
No,
No.
they're trying to find the line of like reality and what we're gonna call
What's right and wrong.
what's right, wrong, what we're gonna like all do and not do,
Right.
and like
It's almost like, honestly, the way you could do it on like a civilizational timeline.
Yeah.
As it's like raising children, right? Like you see like your 10-year-old or your 4-year-old do something, and you're like, "What the fuck are you thinking?"
right. And you're like, no, I didn't even know that could be in your mind, so
Right.
I'm gonna now make that a rule.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was it.
Yeah. That's like on the human scale.
Yes.
That's where these people are at.
They would walk into these rooms and be like, "Oh no, no, we're
No.
not gonna do this."
Oh,
And
we
they're like,
shouldn't.
"Ah." Yeah.
But they do it first, and then they're like, "Oh boy."
I mean, a couple of us liked it, but you're the weirdos. Go over there. Yeah.
So poison could not simply be poured onto Britannicus' food or drink, because he also, of course, had a food tester.
Oh, even more so, I bet.
Also,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be very obvious?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. It's like if he gets poisoned,
Right.
then again, you got to go start just killing anyone you suspect and stuff like that. So, and you couldn't, even if the poison was slow acting, so the food tester doesn't die right away, if the food tester and Britannicus die, then people are like, it was slow acting poison, and so same result.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to go kill everyone we think was involved in this.
Okay.
So she tried, Locusta, to poison Britannicus once, really subtly, and she opted for arsenic.
Oof.
But she used too small a dose. She wanted to make it seem natural, not suspicious,
Sure.
but she didn't dose him enough. And Nero was fucking pissed. Now, this is a guy completely sadistic, like we said, lit Christians on fire for funsies.
Yeah.
Kicked his pregnant wife to death at one point.
Yep.
because-
We're gonna put that in the no pile.
Yeah. They
Felt
learned
bad
that.
about it though, and renamed his boy slave after her.
Yeah, he
Oh,
found.
sweet boy.
Yeah, he found a boy that looked like her and
Cut off his dick.
Whoa, bud. I mean, okay.
married him for the rest of his life.
Dressed him up
Like just
as
found
her.
him just saw him on the street.
The Nero did?
Yeah. So a lunatic.
Had a slight resemblance to his ex-wife that he killed. Felt bad, so he, just
He looks a little
Took off
inbred.
this
Did
kid's
we have
junk.
some inbreeding
Probably.
back then? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got an inbred forehead type of sitch,
It's,
right?
I mean, he looks Appalachian.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, we can just say it.
Okay.
Sorry to our
Thank you.
Appalachian listeners.
Yeah.
But you know who you are.
Yeah. The X-Files did a really great job of...
The band episode, right?
it's bold talk coming from the Ozarks over there.
Right.
I'm not from the fucking Ozarks.
Same state, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, the one where the ladies under the stairs
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Great app.
Jump
Great
the
app.
shark on that one. Didn't they end pretty soon after that?
No, that was like right in the middle of the run.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I just stopped watching
just
after
like,
that.
"Mm."
I was like, no, mm-mm.
But it never aired on TV again for like years.
Oh, 100%.
Because they were like, you did what? You wrote what? Fox was like, oh, I didn't check that script.
Bro, it's burned into
I'm such
my mind.
good
I bring it up
boys.
all the time.
They're such good boys.
That's Nero. But that's Nero.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
You're on. You're right on.
Okay.
So Nero is furious and beats her, flogs her, and it's like, if you don't get it right this time, I'm going to fucking kill you.
You don't want to kill the, master poisoner, but go ahead.
Right? You would think that she'd
Yeah.
be like, well, all right, I'm going to poison you.
Torturing the poisoner seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now Nero's like, fuck caution. This dude just needs to fucking die. So Locusta's like, all right, I guess I got to,
Kill
get
this
it?
kid.
Get it right this time. So she starts testing poisons to get it exactly right and everything. Specifically on children, I guess. Nero just provided her with a gaggle of younglings to
To test poison on?
yeah.
Just a bunch of little birds.
Okay.
So that was a thing that happened.
Cool.
So we're at a party now,
All right.
and Britannicus is presented with a goblet of wine, right? But obviously you can't just poison the wine because it'll be, someone will die right away.
Yeah.
So what they do is they heat up the wine. It's hot as fuck, right? So Britannicus obviously gives the wine to his food tester to test it, and he drinks it, and he's like, "Oh God, that's fucking hot. It's not poison, but ooh, Jesus Christ, that is hot."
Right.
And Britannicus is like, "Oh, okay, cool," and he gets some cool water to pour in the wine to cool it down, and then drinks the wine. The water was poisoned
Water was poisoned.
because they knew little baby Britannicus, who is not a teenager, is going to need to cool down the wine for his soft little boy lips. Can't drink hot wine.
That plan is pretty bonkers and could have many points in it. Could have really
Gone
fallen
bad, yeah.
apart.
No, you don't drink that cold water. That's
Don't
that's
or
Britannicus
just
cold water.
hot wine. Shit,
Yeah.
I'm having something else. I don't know.
Right.
Hot wine. We're gonna cool down hot wine.
So
It sounds like a bad time.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Just
We're
hot
that
wine.
low on wine in Rome, please.
Yeah.
Let's get a new glass.
Why don't you, someone else cool down? Or or he could have even been like, "Oh, okay, it's cool. Well, I'll wait for it to cool down."
Any number of things. She's already gotten beaten. I don't know. This was a weird one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's a real risk. But
He pours the poison water
worked.
into the wine, drinks it, falls to the ground, like Joffrey Baratheon style in Game of Thrones, just like,
sure.
and everyone's like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" And Nero just pops in and it's like, "It's cool. He's epileptic.
Oh
It's cool. Take him to his bedroom. Silly Britty
God.
having another seizure. It's
It's really
fine."
annoying.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
He does this
Carry
all
on.
the time. Can you believe people want him to be emperor?
Seriously.
I know, not really
An
cut out for the throne.
epileptic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he dies in his room.
Sure.
Nero buries him the next day in a raging storm, and it's just like, yeah, he's dead now. He's underground. I don't know.
Yeah, we got to do it though.
Yeah.
We got to bear.
You know how it is.
Okay. They make up a story like, oh, he ran away.
Nope. They were just like, yeah, that seizure killed him.
No, because I'm sure there was people with him. Like he probably had to have these. I'm imagining some servants. Had
Yeah, oh,
people,
yeah,
So
yeah.
he can't say like, oh, he ran away. He's like, there's witnesses at that point, right?
Right. And there's only so many, even servants you can kill before people are just like, are there less servants here than yesterday?
Man. Yeah. Like if they want something, then they're like, wait a minute.
Are there 40 less servants than there were?
Yeah, because like I needed something the other day.
Yeah.
And like no one was around
No
to get
one.
it for me. Now I'm mad.
They
Now
don't
I'm looking
know
into it.
faces or names that are gone, but they know that something's off.
Yeah,
Right,
they know
right,
that
right.
they're not getting their stuff. Do you
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
So, boom. No more challengers to the throne. Nero's good to go. And he hooks a girl up.
Oh.
He gives her, he appoints her imperial poisoner. Gives her a large estate. Servants. She's a maid woman.
Whoa. Red flags. Whoa, why did that lady get so rich all
Yeah,
of a
like
sudden?
who?
She went from prison.
What did she do? Yeah. It's always when they're like, they cash in the insurance check. You're
Right.
like, hang on.
I don't
even
think people were that smart back then.
No,
because even
clearly.
more sus is that he officially pardons her for all the poisonings she definitely did. So the poisoner immediately gets a pardon and is granted a large estate and servants, becomes a nobility for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, huh, all right.
That's interesting,
Cool.
I guess.
Now every peasant.
Then they go on.
I
What are you
guess
going
I
to do?
am."
Lives.
Confront Nero?
Exactly right.
Yeah, probably.
He has a maid poisoner, like that will now do. Yeah. So he's a scary dude at this point.
He'll do anything.
But don't the Roman troops just kind of like take out emperors all the time?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is not that area yet where the Praetorian Guard is just constantly like, but
We're
like,
trial
you're
and error
annoying.
again.
Yeah,
We're still in trial and error territory.
So she spent some happy years living in her estate, poisoning people at the discretion of Nero. And Nero relied heavily on poison to get the job done. I guess at one point he poisoned his aunt to seize her estates. She was apparently extremely constipated, probably from poison. So she was given something to
Constipation poison?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the
That-
diarrhea.
No shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Constipation going out.
That's cruel.
Funny you say that. So it was a nice 1-2 punch. So they give her poison to constipate the fuck out of her, and then Nero shows up and is like, and orders her to take a laxative to feel better, but it's a fatal dose of laxative, and then after being constipated for some excruciating amount of time, shits herself to death.
Yeah, rips in half.
Yeah. With the fatal laxative dose that Nero makes her take.
Dude,
He was
this
just trying to
guy's
be a good guy.
Diabolical, dude. I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Just trying to help
but
my
yeah,
aunt with
Yeah.
her constipation.
I was
This
just
is
trying
pretty
to heal her.
normal, right? Like how diabolical he is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
Well, no, even for the time, people were like, this guy
Okay.
is fucked.
Yeah.
Okay. We're starting to get like,
Yeah, like have some decency about it.
right. Okay.
Like it's the difference between like, I don't know, JFK and Bill Clinton maybe or something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Where you go like, let's keep it a little bit under wraps.
Right.
And then we're like, all right, no, we got to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
got
were just out of control.
You did what with the cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're fucking a Nero. Like that,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
he was
get
just
you-
trying stuff out.
Just get laid and move on.
Yeah, I guess we don't think about that enough, right? Like how fucking weird he was with shit.
Yeah.
Cigars in places
And
and,
an
stuff.
absolute just like
He's
could
psychopath.
not
Smoking it?
control it.
Oh, dude, he was
You should be in charge of no one.
insatiable, I
Yeah.
guess.
So kills his aunt, and Lacosta's still just crushing it, just the imperial poisoner, you know, like living a good life, a life she could have never dreamed of.
Yeah.
Being a forest nymph in Gaul.
Love it.
And she decides, I guess at Nero's instruction to an extent, but she's like, I'm not going to pull the ladder up. I'm going to give back.
Ooh.
She starts training other poisoners. She opens a poison school.
She was a madame of poison.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Can't be sharing your secrets all willy nilly like.
Nope. Not with other ladies.
Because ladies, the birds be
Ladies
chirping.
hate ladies.
I mean, but you know, she can only be in one place at a time. Nero needs
Oh,
poison
true.
here, there, and everywhere.
She wants some time off. She's seen the other side.
Right.
And she's like, I want to relax.
I mean, when you're running a business, eventually you
Sure.
want to hire other people to do work that you don't want to do.
Right.
So that's all she's doing.
She just feels like she's gotten to that point. I
Yeah.
get it.
So she opens this school and she's, you know, just constantly working on recipes and shit like that. Nero, being the gracious boss that he is, good boss, sends her slaves and convicted criminals to test her poisons on.
Nice.
You know, she's like, I need a few people. Like, theory can only get you so far,
Yeah.
right? You've got to,
I like the convicted criminal. The kids one was rough.
yeah, that's a little,
But yeah, send the fucking,
right.
you know, just normal dudes, I guess, in this era are like nightmares.
It's like you
Send
stole,
them all over
you
there.
stole bread and you're poor. You're going to go
Yeah.
to this lady's estate.
Yeah, exactly. It's not actual criminals. It's the people that are just like, I just wanted to eat. And they're like,
You know, you're going to get one
yeah,
final meal.
life in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's loving life. She's crushing it. She's Nero's girl. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But unfortunately, she's Nero's girl. And Nero goes down.
Oh, I was gonna say Nero, short shelf life to be his girl.
No, he never turns on her. He never turns on her. She's too valuable, too useful. But everyone else turns on Nero
Oh, no.
Yeah.
because they're like, fuck, I can't fucking take this guy anymore. He is a psycho. He's rough to look at.
Yeah, exactly. That was the main thing.
He keeps making me call that boy his wife's name. It is not his wife. I know what he did to his wife.
That's all happening in this time?
Same
Oh,
time period, yeah.
Jeez.
So, in 68 AD, the citizens revolt against Nero. The Senate condemns him. And Nero is like, well, I'm fucked. And runs out of Rome, pieces the fuck out of Rome, and kills himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because he's out. I mean, he's like, there's nothing. It's over. Like, I'm not getting
He does not get the ending he deserves.
No. Some
Did he
say
poison himself?
Some say it was with a poison, a special poison Locusta gave him. A break
Oh,
glass
okay.
in case of emergency
Yeah.
situation. 'Cause
Little
even,
cyanide pill.
Yeah, because even he's like, I'm doing some stuff. Man.
Yeah. This can only last so long, even in Rome. Yeah.
I'm really testing the limits.
Yeah.
of-
And I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, don't
Right,
get me
right.
wrong. I'm not going to stop, but like,
At this point,
someone's going to stop me.
yeah, someone's gonna get mad. I imagine.
Yeah. That's what we talk about, like serial killers and people in this era, where it's like you get to a point where you're just like, all right. Even like normal, just human brain kicks in and you go, this is bad, right? Yeah.
Like
I
someone
got it.
should catch me
Hey.
at some point.
I'm the Ripper.
Speaking
You know
of
what
which,
I mean?
do you know what I read about BTK the other day that I didn't know? And
What?
maybe you do know this.
I think I know a lot about him. He's my favorite, but go ahead.
At one point, he stopped murdering for a while.
Yeah.
Because he was running the HOA,
Uh-huh.
and he got off just as hard from getting people for HOA violations.
Yep.
As he did killing.
Yeah, for like, what was it, like 7 years or something?
Yeah.
Like, it was a long time. He was like, I think Cub Scout leader and HOA, and he was just like, I've got shit.
He found his true calling.
Yeah, like, I'm in charge of shit. And that's like
Yeah.
kind of all he wanted, which is why he's an interesting one.
'Cause he wanted
to me.
control.
He just wanted control. And if he was able, I don't know what happened with the HOA, but if he
I-
was able to like keep that going,
Stay busy.
It sounds like he was a bit of a Nero on the HOA, right? Just really like
Yes.
every ticky tack.
oh yeah, he loved giving violations
Yeah.
and driving around. I think what happened with, if I remember right, with the HOA is that he started like driving around looking for violations, trash cans out, whatever, and started to get that like itch when he would drive around and look for,
Oh.
and found on his, HOA drive or whatever those drives, found like some,
New people.
some vulnerable mom and kids by themselves in a house. And
Perfect.
yeah.
Did he get voted out of the HOA?
I don't know.
That's when he turned
that
back.
I'm gonna have
Right.
to
That's what I'm
look.
wondering. If these people are like, God, this guy can't get any worse.
Yeah, he must have been really bad though if it was feeding the need to bound and
Torment.
torment
Yeah.
people. So he must have been pretty bad.
It's just like that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
That he would.
It's a power thing.
Yeah, that would get him off like enough. He's just like hiding in a bush watching someone like read the note on their door. Like, God,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, and he
damn
loved it. And he loved it.
No. But those people, and honestly, you could say that the people who, let's just say for the sake of argument, unelected him off of the HOA,
Right. Are to blame.
they have blood on their hands.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
You got to let those kind of people like fucking
Keep the monster in its
Yeah.
cage. Doesn't matter how much noise it's making.
Yep.
Because if you think it's just going to run off into the woods, you're wrong.
Yep.
So Nero, he's out. He kills himself. I don't know if it was with the poison or not, but he did allegedly have the break glass in case of emergency
Okay. So
poison.
that was
He kept
probably
it in
it.
a little gold box.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, a little special gold box.
Bonkers.
Yeah, his little emergency box.
Yeah, that tracks.
So Nero's immediate successor, Emperor Galba, very quickly is like, well, we're cleaning house.
Anyone,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
Anyone
yeah.
associated. Yeah.
Anyone that was in his pocket, let's go.
Yeah, he was
You're an
like,
issue.
all of these people are pieces of shit. Just the worst.
Yeah.
So they're all dead.
Drain the swamp.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
So the historian, so they're all arrested and sentenced to death. The historian Cassius Dio writes, Locusta the sorceress and others of the scum of the earth, or others of the scum that had come to surface in Nero's day, he, Galba, ordered them to be led in chains throughout the whole city and then be executed. So Galba wants to clean house, by the way. Whether or not you were even a bad person in Nero's orbit.
Yeah, because you can't take the time to like figure that out,
Right.
and you just don't. He was so diabolical that you're just like, I can't trust.
Right. Everyone's got to go. So
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
talked about this on the show before. I'm certain you don't know this because it's horrifying
Okay.
and takes place in ancient Rome. But his boy wife, Nero's boy wife, for example.
Yeah, still wrapping my head around all that. But
Yeah.
yeah. With the dick cut off and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he meets a pretty
Eunuch.
awful
What do they
ending.
call him? Eunuch.
Yeah, he was a eunuch, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So he was sentenced to be taken to not the Coliseum because that didn't exist yet, but to the arena, the stadium before the Coliseum.
Still getting games off.
Yeah, still playing games. He was ordered to be raped to death by as many gladiators as could get it before he just expired.
Okay.
But he was like, he heard about that and was like, nope, and killed himself.
Bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was like,
They all probably had a little
Break in case
break.
of emergency.
Yeah.
well, you know,
Maybe. I don't know.
you know who didn't?
Her.
Ironically,
The Poison Queen.
Oh, no.
that did not have a break in case of emergency.
She played herself.
Poison.
You know what's weird, though, is she knows too much about what it does to you. I don't know
If she could
she
actually
would want to. Like, if you know
take the leap,
everything
yeah.
of, like, what it
Yeah.
does and how you die and right?
And it's not like the
It's
poisoning.
not fast.
These poisoning deaths are painful.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't know it. Like,
Right.
even, like, breaking, like, the Nero doesn't know.
Right.
So he's just like, and like dies this horrible,
Right.
slow,
I mean, it's
organ breaking down death.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent almost of like chugging bleach, where you're just
Right.
like your insides are on fucking fire.
Yes. Yes.
So she doesn't do it, doesn't poison herself, or maybe she doesn't have time. Maybe she gets
Makes
caught
sense.
before she's able to.
Okay.
I don't know. Now, if you thought Nero's boy wife's sentence was bad,
Okay.
LaCosta,
Okay.
I don't know if they thought she was like head bitch in charge of being awful in terms of being in Nero's cabinet. You know what I mean?
Right. Like
if
she was telling him people to do it
Right.
instead of just being told.
But they really, A, first off, foreigner. B, second off, poor.
Sure.
Like, yeah, she was given estates, but that's new money trash.
They were always gossiping about her
Yeah.
having that house.
Right.
Like, we know how she has it.
C, has killed, at this point, you got to think, hundreds of people.
Yeah. Family members, yeah.
And
yeah.
just testing alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a house of torture. I mean, she's got hundreds of bodies.
Oh, and let us not forget she has a poison school.
Right.
So that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're like, this one is going to feel the pain.
Oh, no.
So similar to Nero's boy wife, she gets a similar sentence.
Okay.
Fucked to death,
Sure.
but not by gladiators. That's too nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's too high status.
Yeah. They
Plus, they only like dudes.
yeah.
But anyway.
I don't know how to put this delicately. They brought in a giraffe.
What? How's that?
How does the giraffe
How
even
does-
get down?
What is that?
They found a way.
They really are like the deepest, darkest corners of
Yeah.
porn.
Yeah.
I just
They're
imagine
just like, you don't know how it's going to work, but you're like, giraffe.
a giraffe's gotta have just a hog on it.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, thought you were going to say a horse or something like this.
But he's also so high off the
up.
ground. I don't know how he gets
I think they built something.
to her.
So they
think
built,
they-
that's
they
what I was
built
thinking.
A stage or
Built some kind of platform.
Yeah.
A hole.
Right, with the arms
Yeah.
and the thing. And
Yeah.
cool.
She was fucked to death by a giraffe in front of a cheering crowd.
Listen, there wasn't a ton of entertainment options back then.
Oh.
So yeah, we talk about this on the show all the time about phones are ruining society. Like, do you know what people entertain themselves with prior to phones and TV?
Yeah, give them a phone. Do you know what I mean? Give them something to like let out those types of weird urges.
You and the wife going on a date night? Oh, you want to go see this lady get fucked to death by a giraffe?
Oh,
I got
sure. Yeah, I
tickets.
heard that was happening today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I didn't know
was-
they were doing that.
I was in the forum, and there was the announcer guy. I just thought it was interesting. I'd never seen a giraffe before. I guess not an ideal way to see a giraffe for the first time, but it's when else are we going to see a giraffe?
Yeah, I guess it's an
Giraffes up.
alien, right?
Yeah, right. Most people are like, "What the fuck is that?"
I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
There was another, so like 200 years prior to this, when the Carthaginians invaded Rome, the Carthaginians had elephants, right? And we are very 21st, 20th century brain, where it's like, oh yeah, an elephant. I've seen that 100 times at the zoo or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's an elephant. Sure, I've seen pictures of it. This doesn't exist for these people. Giraffes, elephants, It might as well be
Right.
from another planet.
True.
So when the Carthaginians came to the battlefield with elephants, a bunch of people were just like, nope.
Yeah. They're like, this is alien invasion,
Right.
basically. They didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah.
But they're just like, no, I don't know what this is. My mind is exploding.
But I'm not fucking with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The equivalent we like to say is like, just imagine if like a bunch of like mer people came out of the ocean riding giant squids. They're just like,
Yeah. And it becomes totally common later. But at that time, you're like, no, this doesn't compute.
not doing it.
How big's a giraffe's?
Yeah,
Hog.
sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, did they pick giraffe because
Of
it's
how big it is.
way bigger than
Yeah.
a horse, which they had
They had
lots
horses.
of, right?
Yeah,
They had plenty of horses.
Plenty of horses. That would
I'm
that would
actually,
have worked, huh?
I'm actually thinking a horse might be worse, to be honest, based on what I'm seeing
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I can't really get a good feel for size on this, but
Okay.
still unpleasant, I'd imagine.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think longer probably.
Yeah, you're really breaking through some stuff.
Yeah.
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 that-
Wow.
Is how Locusta, imperial poisoner to Nero, one of the most prominent singular killers in ancient history, who wasn't like a warlord or an emperor.
Right.
You know what I mean? In terms
Right.
of normies,
Yeah.
one of the most prominent killers in ancient history, meets her end
Wow.
via giraffe.
Mm-hmm. She met a way worse end than fucking Nero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets split in half by
Yeah.
a giraffe.
No fairsies, but of course,
It's always the ladies.
always the ladies that are going to take all of the heat for this crazy dude. Short amount of time, he got a lot of stuff done, huh?
Yeah. It was about
He
10,
really
11
packed
years, something
in.
like that.
He packed in a lot of stuff.
A
Yeah.
lot of punch.
Got it done.
Yeah.
He came in, did what he promised. Only insane shit.
Listen, I love it.
Now, this
Yeah.
is a tale of why you should not have ambition or goals. Because if she just stayed her poor peasant life,
In the
Mm-hmm.
forest.
she doesn't get violated by a zoo animal.
No, but you would probably die of diarrhea.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, if she keeps living in the woods in Gaul, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
That
Something's
seems
gonna-
more pleasant.
But here's the thing. She got to live, for a time,
Yes.
the best possible life she could have ever lived.
Do you think she
Yeah, do
chooses
you-
it, though,
do
if
you
she
think-
knows her ending?
Let me ask you. You're able to 10 years. Okay?
Yeah,
You get a
10 years.
mansion. Okay, Bob?
Yep.
You get a mansion. I don't know where you would want to live. Malibu, up on the hills. I don't know.
something like
I
that,
don't
probably.
know.
All your
yeah.
servants.
Right? But at the end of the 10 years, Bob,
Mm-hmm. It's a real deal with the devil. I mean, for me, having grown up like middle class, that's not up. But if I grew up in the dirt, like this
Right.
chick did, I mean, not even poverty doesn't begin to, like, she's feral almost. You know what I mean?
right.
Like think of the
She's like
word-
Nell.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
Tay
I
in the wind.
might take that deal
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she did, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, even Nero, while he was doing all this shit, was like, something's going to fucking happen.
Right.
You know what deal you're making if you go that high up in status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only guy offering the job.
It's true. And also, she didn't have a choice. It's
No.
like he's beating her up if she's not doing it right.
Right.
So it's kind of, you know,
Yeah. Nero probably comes up with something even more sadistic somehow.
Yeah.
you know.
It's and because he did threaten to execute her too if she
Yeah,
didn't pull
like,
it off, and God knows what he's going to do to her.
Yeah. It wasn't like she was loving it.
It
She
may-
really bought herself time.
It really.
Yeah.
It was always going to end with a giraffe.
Yeah.
It always does.
The path,
Yes.
no matter which path you take, they all converge back to
Always
giraffe.
leads to
It's
a
not
giraffe.
turtles all the way down as giraffes.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that is the
That's a good
story
one.
of Locusta of Gaul. What'd you learn today, Jesse?
Well,
Too much.
too much. I learned too much. I was starting to, if you remember in the beginning, I was starting to be like, all right, guys, I get it. You know, like the obsession with the Roman Empire. Like, I get it. And now I'm even more confused.
Right.
But then also understand.
again, these are like civilization is at its like 9 to 11-year-old stage.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, put a lady in charge like that.
Yeah,
Something's going to happen.
it's not.
They're not going to let her go all the way to the top.
No.
And live a comfy life.
Oh, and by the way, so I didn't even mention this. Agrippina the Younger, who murdered Claudius to get Nero on the throne.
Right.
Yeah, mom eventually gets killed by Nero.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
doesn't even hook her back up.
Yeah. 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 He's real cool.
Yeah, and actually, I
Bunch
didn't.
of
I forgot
cool
to put
dudes.
this in the story, but maybe you'll appreciate this as a mother. When he sent the soldiers or whatever to kill her, or assassins, I don't know what it was. They come in and she knows what's up, and she knows who sent them.
Yeah.
So she goes. Essentially, she was like, "You might as well stab me in my womb."
She's badass.
Yeah.
She started the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah.
So she's just like, well, of course. That little son of a
Piece of
bitch.
shit. Got it from mom. Learned it from you, mom.
Sorry, Mom.
What'd you learn today, Daniel?
I just learned that this girl probably took the right deal because she bought herself an additional 10, 11 years.
At least.
Of the good life.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she's meeting her end in a horrific fashion,
No
regardless.
matter what. Yeah.
Right. So you might as well kick that can down the road.
So live the high life. And, yeah, if that giraffe's staring me down in 10 years, so be it.
So be it.
And then who is today's Hitler?
The dude that drank that hot wine and was like, let's add some water to it. That's psychotic.
This is totally normal hot wine.
Psychotic. He had to be
Boiling.
in on something because no one is like, this wine is boiling hot. Don't worry, child. I will add some water to it.
Right.
The water that's sitting right next to it. Weird.
So no one understanding that was weird is
Something's up with that.
yeah.
He may have been leading the whole fucking organization. Do you know what I mean? To let that plan go to the end.
Yeah.
It had to have other people
Weird
involved.
they didn't drink the water too. Like, oh, hold on, let me test the water.
Right.
We're also
right.
underselling how about this life she was.
LaCosta?
Yeah, she got into this.
Of
even
her own
before Nero.
accord, she
yeah,
got into
this is
it.
her own thing.
Of her own accord, and then we kind of think of her as, Nero's making her
Sympathetic,
do
yeah.
it, but like poison school, you're making a bunch of little assassins.
How many kids did she kill?
You've
Just on the way up.
Yeah.
You've drank the poison, so to speak, at that point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Who's your Hitler today?
Her.
Her LaCosta? Yeah, I mean, she killed a lot of kids and also a lot of probably
Yeah.
semi-innocent people.
Yeah.
2 innocent people, depending on.
I mean, when in doubt, just blame the woman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't you guys always?
Yeah. Typically.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just easy. No one asks questions.
Right? They go like, "Yep,
Mm-mm.
knew it."
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a layup.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for today on LaCosta of Gaul. Jesse, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, I always learn so many fun things on this show. Was it last time burning animals being lit on fire?
Oh,
and
yeah. It's a
thrown
lot of animal
into-
stuff.
So this
Yeah,
time
yeah.
The animals got their revenge.
The animals had a good time, right?
Unambiguously.
Right. They
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure all the cheering scared the giraffe a little bit, but
Sure, but it had a job to do.
yeah. It did it.
It did it.
But yeah, for Jesse Wiseman, go listen to Crime Corner
Thank you.
wherever your podcasts are found.
Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/softcorehistory. 2 additional episodes every Wednesday and Friday.
And we got a hot sketch coming in with Jesse, with Jack Mandeville, with Dan, with a bunch of people, my wife. Everybody's in it. Had to pull the whole bench for this one.
I love it. This is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's
Sounds, from what I
It's
hear,
like 50 minutes long.
sounds
it's
really
clocking
good.
like 40.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like an audiobook, but a short story instead with a graphic sex scene in it.
Sure.
So yeah, check it out. But for Dan Regester and Jesse Wiseman, I'm Rob Fox.
You just got soft served.